Good morning and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. Please say hello in the chat so I know who's here and so I know that the stream is working. Good morning. I'm glad to see somebody's commenting, so I know that the stream is going out because I'm having some looks like DNS issues with my internet provider, AT&T. Making connections seems to be difficult, but once the connections are made, it does fine. All right. Phew. All right, the YM is currently flat. Looking for a new setup for market open in under 3 minutes. Crude oil, 9 o'clock start. This first trade at 9:01 was too fast to catch. So we have a 15-second entry bar. Should be in this trade. And it gets targets 2 and 3. Money management is 10 tick minimum at target 2. So that's why targets 2 and 3. And a one and done session. No 10 a.m. session this morning because we do have the crude oil inventory report coming up at 10:30 this morning. Unleaded gas initial trade too fast. Second trade initially was too fast, and I would certainly adjust around the swing that it made, and that'll keep you out of the trade. This short was also too fast to catch. Same second, several bars there. So our first trade is at 9:04.32. The long trade from 8:34, that picks up targets 1 and 2 for traders working for either position. 42 ticks to target 1, 65 to target 2. And we trail out at 8:79 from 8:34 is 45 ticks. So 87 for target 1 traders, 110 for target 2. One and done there as well. So we'll go to that's not what I want. That must be what I want, but nope. That's the one I want right there. All right, market's open. And the YM too fast to trade on the initial long, and we have a short. It's also too fast to trade. Just triggered into the short now, and we have a stop and reverse long at 863. So we're actually in the short right now, and just stop and reverse to long. Actually, that canceled, so we didn't stop and reverse there. We've got another stop and reverse. 76. Yeah, I would stop and reverse at the full stop. It's a 5-tick adjustment, but you've got that setup and the swing level that set up the shorts, and we push through, and we are long. So a full loss on the initial short. Good morning, Arizona Bob. Stop and reverse to short, cancels. Still long from 881. That was an additional 3-tick adjustment beyond the stop and reverse. Given the high of that bar was 77, I'm going to go ahead and take that to 81, and there is target 1. Alright, target 1 was 36 ticks, less our 5-tick adjustment. So 31 ticks to target 1, trailer now at 899. Trailer still at 899. Look at what the Russell has done. Initial long. Yeah, no way to avoid that, unfortunately. Then the short. Stops and reverses. That one is probably avoidable. You've ended up with a full stop out, but you avoided the short. That pulled back too quickly, it looks like. Long trade looks like it's probably valid. Got money management, so that's a break even. Short trade, market is just totally out of whack right now. MNQ waiting for a new setup. That short probably avoidable. 6 seconds to the second bar, so I'm going to assume that was probably avoidable. Finally, that's going to be a break even. So we got one loss. That one's avoided. Two, that's avoided. Two break-evens. And that one's a full loss, it looks like, unless it's fast. Nope, that one's definitely a second loss. And a third loss at 9.35, so not successful there. YM trailed up to 9.39. I would expect that probably got us positive. Let's see. 47, so 94 tick loss. We picked up 31 on target. From 81 to 39, it's 1958. And 31 is 89, and we're still down, so the short is valid. Was it too fast? 58? Yes. Short trade's too fast to catch. Long trade is triggered in and is a full stop. That is a 64 tick. And that's where we are. Good morning, Don. Market's moving around a lot this morning. All right, MNQ with its first trade, maybe. Same second. That looks to, well, yeah. Nope, that's an avoided trade because it looks to me like it went back, stopped out, and then came back. We have to put that on a 5-second chart to check it out. I'm saying that's a no trade. Hit the entry, went back to the stop, and then came back down. And that's going to be that one. I'm afraid is going to be a full loss. No, not really a good way to avoid that. That one's avoided. That hit the stop after hitting the entry, so off the table. Hitting the entry too fast to trade and then going back up to the stop. Soybeans, I haven't even had a chance to look at that. All right. Looks like we picked up a long. And a short that didn't quite stop out. Actually, no, that's a... The short stopped out, so we are, well, yeah, and we went back to long. Did we? Yep, that touched our entry on the reversal. So we go long, stop and reverse to short. And there's a full stop out, and we are long. Market's just back and forth this morning, moving a lot. Excuse me. All right, YM, we took that loss. That was a break even. Excuse me. That was avoided. The short, definitely in the short, and that's a full loss. I think that's our complement of trades on the YM this morning. So we have 1, 2, too fast, 3. Is that too fast? 55. Yeah, that one was too fast too. So no break even. Long was too fast. 4. So now that one's avoided. And so actually we've only had 4 trades that were tradable. There is another short trade. That plenty of time to get in that. Nasty action this morning. Micro NQ gets in that trade, so that's a valid trade, getting targets 2 and 3 and trailing just above target 2. We have a short setup that looks like it's pulled back, so we'll have another chance to get into this. And there's the trigger of short. YM is still short. All right. Whew. And the short is a loss. And we have a stop and reverse on the YM into a long that is a full loss as well, or a stop and reverse exit, whichever. And that finishes off the YM this morning. Uh-oh, more losses on no trade. That was a full loss. That was a no trade win. Yeah, that's a full loss. That's an avoided trade on the long side. And in the short trade, current trade is the short. YM is done. That was a losing session. Energies did okay this morning. Pound Aussie's had a tough time of it. 3 trades this morning starting right at 8:30 or 50 seconds. Our initial setup was 20 seconds after. Initially it was moving around very rapidly with wide spreads, and I got in sync out around in this area as spreads had settled back down to about 4 pips. But full stop on the short side, pick up a long that meanders around and comes back for a full stop, and we get a short that goes and just touches another full stop. So, tough morning on the Pound Aussie. With 3 full stop outs, I step aside. Break even on the short. Long did not trigger, and looks like it's going to cancel on this bar. Maybe. Yeah, canceled on that bar, and we have a new long. $53.50. Soybeans picking up a long, short, long combination, and it's now still in the long. And another full stop out on the long. That one, that pulled back before I had a chance to really look at it, but it looks to me like that one was avoidable, because it 2 seconds to the first bar, then a pullback, and it just hung around there for a while and never came back up to the entry. So I will call that avoided as well. Yeah, I call that. Yeah, that was a no trade loss, no trade win. That's a second loss. That was a no trade and a break even. So one more trade on the micro NQ. Soybeans is still long. Markets definitely have the jitters this morning. Some fast moves, but not a short trade on MNQ. Should have had time to get into that. And obviously just had another touch of the entry, so definitely short. Lots of activity, but not all of it good. This is a big trade. You got to note the big wick, almost as long as the bar itself. So this is going to be a target 1 take profit on the MNQ. Target 1 worth 32.5 points. And our normal trade's worth 28.5 to target 1. So I'm sorry, 28.5 to target 2. Stop and reverse, and that does take, look, now let's see, did it get a entry at 32.50? We got as high as 34. Yep, that reversed. That should be an exit only, but pulled back too quickly to do anything with. So I would put my exit, that's 1.5 points. Yeah, I would put the exit at 34.50, because that would be a third loss at that. So exit at 34.50, but then it's come back and hit its stop. So I would say unless you market it out of the long, you're still in. Wouldn't even had a chance to market out of the long before it pulled back. So that one I would probably still be in. If I were trading it, I'd probably still be in the long. I'm sorry, it's still in the short is what I was trying to say. But with that intervening long, we'll have to track this one manually. And that's a spike up to 36. I would take that as an exit. We got as high as 34 even, so I would have probably set 35 as an exit point. Even after that trade, the long trade stopped out. But that would put me out for the day. That ends the MNQ session. So, are we done with yeah, we're done with everything. No, we're not done with everything. We still have soybeans running. Still in the long trade. A couple of short trades filtered out in hybrid mode. 1491 flat is target 1. Pound Aussie successful on trade number 4. If there was time, if you could get in it. Now almost a full minute, but yeah, that probably would have had time to get in. But you pick up targets 3 positions at target 3, target 4, and a trail just below target 4. But I'm not participating in that. Not after 3 full stop losses. MNQ looks like it ultimately may end up working out on the short side. 2 attempts to go long and now going short. Crude, significant sell-off today. Down in the high 60s. And we got as low as 67.93 earlier this morning. Yeah, started off in the low 70s. Full 4.5 points, $4.50 trading range. And the only long on the Pound Aussie if you're still trading it. And MNQ still hasn't resolved anything. Soybean still working around slowly. And Pound Aussie hitting, looks like it hit money management there. Yep, looks like it touched money management on the, just touched it. And good morning, Private Eye. And target 1 on the Pound Aussie. Trade numbers 4 and 5 winning. And ultimately we did get down to the target on that MNQ short, but I wouldn't have stayed with it through those 2 reversal attempts. Target 2 on the pound Aussies. Now after going back and forth without extending far enough to get to targets, just giving us stop outs, it's getting busy with the program. This is a significantly larger trade. Yeah, 20 pips to target 1, 32 to target 2. So 52 pips already in hand. And, oh, this is not nice. Well, it looks like we picked up a short stop and reverse on the soybeans trade. That second trade became valid, and our chase tick brought us down just to where we picked up an entry. We should have marketed out as soon as we got the valid setup there, even though it was a tick or two beyond already. Mark it out of the original, and then we can go ahead and put in the chase entry at 85.50, and we just hit target 1 on that one. That would be 9 ticks. Tough morning this morning in several markets. Potential reversing trade on the pound Aussie there. Got 76 pips out of that first one. Soybean stop at 85 1/4. So the YM, soybeans, the Russell, the MNQ, all micro Russell, micro MNQ, all giving us back and forth trading this morning. And that looks like a stop out, break-even stop on soybeans. So target 1 only, and an additional 3 ticks for the additional positions on the trailing stop. And we have reversed to short on the pound Aussie. Let's see, two additional positions. I would take the short at the 84. Oh yeah, absolutely take a short at the 84. The 84 from 72 gives us 12 ticks. So 64 on target 5, and we'll see if we can get a successful trade on trade 6 here. 76 and 64, that's 140. certainly mitigates some of the three full losses. Market's really not sure where they're going at the moment. Notifications. Well, yeah, notification you should have gotten notification plenty early. Now, no, I've set that up after daylight savings time changed. It's been on for almost 45 minutes now. I started up about 9:25. I usually try to start up a few minutes before market open. I'm a little bit blind today because my monitor of the stream is not working and didn't connect, but from the comments that I'm getting through the chat box and OBS, and the stream seems to be working, so I'm continuing on. YouTube at its best. Alright, so that's a potential for a long trade. That's a white trade, counterpunch on the soybeans. It's like 87 flat, but we haven't got a trade yet. That's just a potential. We need the crossover to happen down here. And let's see. Yeah, cyan line has moved up above the, so we should get a setup on the close of this bar. We'll just have to see which way it goes. It may not end up close. Let's see. See, that's still above. And crude now heading back up to 69. Up above 69 now already. Don't know what's going to happen with the inventory report. But as much as crude has been moving around this morning. Looks like we just missed money management on the pound Aussie. I would move that entry up if we get it. Move it around the 50 EMA. I'd say 87.50, possibly even 87.75. There's the trade. Yeah, I'd say 87.50 for the entry. Work it around the 50 EMA. Still going to give you 10 tick target 1. Or no, I'm sorry, that's a 6 tick minimum target 1, because that's an 8 tick. Yeah, that's an 8 tick. So minimum target with the adjustment still valid. 14.89. And not triggering yet with the adjustment. Looks like we may not have time to watch this one through because I'm coming up on 10:15 and I need to shut down here momentarily so I can get ready for our crude oil inventory report session. And I'm going to go ahead and shut down at 10:15 so I can go through and try to restart a couple of things, see if I can get my connections working a little better. I wanted to see if that would trigger in. Crude and the indices rolling over again. Let's see, we got to 25. We still haven't triggered the long with the adjusted entry. Not much going on there. Just kind of sideways. Not sure if it's going to go up through the 20 SMA and 50 EMA or not. Just stuck right at them. Slightly above the 20, just below the 50. And just below both. It's like the 20 and the 50 roughly about 2 ticks apart. Touching 25 again. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye on this one at the moment. So we will see you all in a little less than 15 minutes for the crude oil inventory report. Everybody have a good break, and we'll be right back.